Okay, this week I actually found a book that's positive about the future. The previous two books I did were quite negative about big data and how machines are going to take all of our jobs. But this week I chose to read Kevin Kelly's book called The Inevitable, and Kelly's actually really positive about the future. And in the introduction, he already has a paragraph that explains that perfectly. And what he says is that massive copying is here to stay. Massive tracking and total surveillance is here to stay. Ownership is shifting away and virtual reality is becoming real. We can't stop artificial intelligence from improving, creating new businesses, and taking current jobs. It may be against our initial impulse, but we should embrace the perpetual remixing of these technologies. Only by working with these technologies, rather than trying to thwart them, can we gain the best of what they have to offer. And that's the essence of his book. In his book, he covers 12 different concepts that he says is going to be the future. One of the ones that I really enjoyed reading was screening, where he says screens are going to be everywhere. You're going to have a screen in your bathroom and you're going to be able to start reading an article on that. You're going to go to your kitchen and that same article is going to be on your countertop. You're going to get in your car and that article is going to be in your car on the dashboard, and you're going to watch that while your car drives you to work. So he has these little stories where he describes screening and how that's going to impact you, tracking of your life and how a day in your life is going to look. And of these 12 things, there were a few that I picked out. These are the things that I think are already happening and the ones that I found to be the most interesting and the things I think people need to know about. So the first one was that we are going to be endless newbies. The way technology is changing these days, you're always going to be a newbie, and we need to accept that fact. Technology changes so fast, and there are so many technologies we probably even haven't thought about that we're always going to be learning. The apps on your phone change on average every 30 days, so it's going to have some new features, something that you have to learn. What he says in his book is that we always had this image of a utopian world, but the problem with a utopian world is that it's perfect and there isn't any improvement in it because there's nothing wrong with it. What he suggests is that we should rather go for a protopian world. And how he describes a protopian world is the following. He says that protopian is a state of becoming rather than a destination. It is a process. In the protopian mode, things are better today than they were yesterday, although only a little bit better. It's an incremental improvement of mild progress. The subtle progress is not dramatic, not exciting. It's easy to miss because Protopian generates just as many problems as benefits, but it's because of this constant improvement, this constant process, that we're always seeing change and seeing better in the world. And this brings us to something which is the next point, and that's AI. I think lots of people are afraid of AI. They're afraid of how quickly AI is going to develop and what it's going to do. But Kelly says that AI is the next big thing. If you want to know the business model for the next 10,000 startups, it's going to be to take X and add some AI to it. You're going to see smart shoes, you're going to see smart hammers, smart TVs, smart everything. Eventually you're even going to have smart clothing, where you're going to have a chip in your clothing that tells your washing machine how it should be washed. Should it be washed delicately, on a slow cycle, everything about it. And the bulk of AI at the moment, however, isn't that smart, so we don't have to be afraid of AI. AI is going to be very specific for quite a few years to come. You're going to have an AI that can only translate any language, or an AI that can only drive your car, so there's nothing really to worry about. The next point is one that we've already seen in all of our lives, and that's access versus ownership. We're moving towards that access industry, where with something like Uber, we're not buying cars anymore. You're just accessing that car when you need it and as you need it. And everything is going to become like that. You'll have clothing where you get an outfit for the week, and you'll have 5 outfits, and it's the latest technology, latest trends, and you're going to be able to wear that clothing and then give it back. And the following week you'll have 5 new outfits. So everything is going to become access rather than ownership. And then the last point that I wanted to highlight for you guys is that technology always makes us ask new questions. With the Industrial Revolution, people didn't have to farm anymore. They didn't have to be out in the fields working every day. So they had to ask the question, what are humans for? And they realized that some people actually should be ballerinas, some should be musicians or mathematicians. And that's a question we continuously need to keep on asking ourselves. with the way machines are changing at the moment, it's taking away a lot of the mundane, everyday tasks that we perform every day. So we need to ask again, what are people for and what should we be doing? The other point that he makes is that technology lets us ask bigger questions and newer questions. Technology actually gives us more questions to ask. The invention of the telescope didn't answer all of our questions. It actually gave us more questions about the universe and how it works and how everything works. And that's the final thought I want to leave you with. What he says is, in fact, it's safe to bet that we haven't asked our biggest questions yet. So we're going to still realize what we don't know and start asking the really important questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please like the video and share it with your friends so other people can see it. And I'll see you next week for the next book summary.